At some point, everything's going to go south on you. Everything's going to go south, and you're going to say, this is it. This is how I end. Now, you can either accept that, or you can get to work. That's all it is. You just begin.
Imagine that you're in a movie, and imagine the movie begins now, and you're the hero of the movie. What would that guy do? What would that guy do right now?
Yeah.
Because you are.
But I love this question, which is, what would you do if you weren't afraid? And I love thinking about that when I'm thinking about big life decisions. Like, what would I do if I weren't afraid? And it's usually like the big one, the bigger thing that I really want to do, but I'm afraid to do it. It's like, that's what I should do.
These are the years when a man changes into the man he's going to become the rest of his life. Just be careful who you change into.
Because if you're willing to go through all the battling you got to go through to get to where you want to get, who's got the right to stop you? I mean, maybe some of you guys got something you never finished, something you really want to do, something you never said to somebody, something, and you're told no, even after you pay your dues. Who's got the right to tell you that? Who? Nobody. It's your right to listen to your gut. It ain't nobody's right to say no after you earn.
Now, get control of your emotions and carry on with your life. And sometimes you're going to get hit with those waves, and that's okay. I think that's a big misconception. It sort of relates to what you're saying. That's why I'm doing, that's just an excuse. And it's a very easy excuse.
You gotta be able to see it when it cannot be seen. You gotta see it in your mind's eye. You have to see it happening. You have to see yourself writing the book before the book is finished. You have to see yourself graduating even though the teachers are telling you that it's not going to happen. You gotta see it, because if you can't believe in it, you will never manifest it. But when you believe in it, you demand the universe to assist you in what you're doing. You get to decide if I'm gonna be rich, poor, mediocre, happy, sad. You have a decision to make, but you have to claim it. You have to expect it. You have to live your life with the expectation that great things are coming your way, that your thoughts can create things. Stop running, stop crying, stop whining, stop giving up, and you go take the fight to them. Go to the heat. The sooner the heat, the sooner the dream. Because your success is on the other side of the problem. Stop running from your pain and embrace your pain. Your pain is going to be a part of your prize. I challenge you to push yourself. Go get it. Don't run from it no more. Go get it. You gotta take that thing out. You gotta take the breath out. You gotta go get it.
When you taste these finer things of life, all the pain, all the work, all the sacrifice to get them is well worth it. If anything, it's a small down payment for the price and the reward you got. And once felt, how do you ever turn your back on it? Stop running from the potential of what you can be, guys.
When it feels scary to jump, Ian, that is exactly when you jump. Otherwise, you end up staying in the same place your whole life. And that I can't do.
Every successful person has jumped. You got to jump. You got to take a leap of faith. You got to dash off that cliff, and you got to jump out there as far as you can.
Either survive in the jungle or exist in the zoo. Few recognize the significance of the paradoxical reconciliation of the two.
Yeah. You know, if I see something, I see an opportunity, I'm going to go for it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We only, we're all going to die one day.
Yeah, it's true.
So we live like that. Live like you could die tomorrow. Go for it.
Pain motivates significantly faster and stronger than pleasure does. Like, people are like, no, passion's the right way. It's like, point a gun at a family member, all of a sudden, 10 out of 10 motivation. Pain.
I found that nothing in life is worthwhile unless you take risks. Nothing.
Well, what I like about it is I'm doing something I don't want to do. Every time I start doing things I don't want to do, I grow.
Yes. That's a lesson that people need to hear and learn. It's so important because everybody just wants to be comfortable. Everybody wants to sit on the couch. I don't want to go outside. It's cold. I don't want to do this. It's hot. Just go for a walk every day. It sounds like it's easy to do, but when that walk comes and look at your clock, oh, it's 8 o'clock. Time to go for that walk. You're like, I don't want to walk. I would just rather play video games. I don't want to walk. I'd rather like read emails. I don't want to walk. I'd rather like scroll through TikTok. But if you just force yourself to go for that walk every day, you will develop mental perseverance. You will develop some tenacity. You'll develop the ability to force yourself into work. And it doesn't have to be grueling. It just has to be a thing that you have to do.
And you might have 9 failures. I felt my first 9 businesses didn't really amount to anything. 9. As in the first one, spent time, failed. Second one, this one will be different, failed.
And the world will tell us if we're under something, like under pressure or undervalued, or we're under different areas in our life that are making us uncomfortable and it feels isolated and dark, that's the place where you should give up.
Dig deeper, and then you discover some things about you that you don't know right now. Some talents that you have in you that you didn't know that you can do.
I don't know everything. I have not accomplished everything. I'm not where I want to be. I'm still learning. I'm still growing. I'm still trying to get better. You got to position yourself and stop pouting. Stop crying. Stop looking at what other people are getting and look at what they're doing. And if you start doing it, you start getting it. You don't get out of life what you want. You get out of life what you earn.
You should go ahead and give up on that dream. You should go ahead and not study for that no more. You're always gonna live in this community. Your mama's broke, you broke, and look at it. The thing you thought was gonna make you wealthy, it just died.
Why did I take this job? Why did I make this move? You start second guessing yourself. You start doubting yourself. You start filling yourself with feelings of failure. Like, I can't do this. You lose your confidence. You start feeling like you're a failure because of the frustration and fatigue. How do you handle failure? How do you react when your plans collapse? How do you react when it's taken longer than you thought, it's more complicated than you thought, and you start doubting, do I even have the ability to do this?
This failure, this catastrophe.
The place that is dark, that is lonely, and sometimes where the pressure of life is on you, that's the place that is making you.
That's where the growth takes place. That's where the work is. That's when life really reveals itself. And that's when you discover your true identity.
Under does not mean over. And if you find yourself under pressure, undervalued, under attack, what it looks like is not what it is.
So what I encourage any and everybody to do is just understand who you are. Truly understand who you are. Learn yourself.
Yeah.
Learn yourself. Learn your pros and your cons. Get your flaws. Get them out the way, but with you, not to nobody else. This is a you and you thing. Of the shit that you know you need to work on. I'm telling you, people, when you really look yourself in the mirror and you start to pick yourself apart by yourself, there's only room for improvement. It's easy to ignore your bullshit.
Move your body. Get it going. You'll feel better afterwards. I know you don't want to do it. I fucking hardly ever want to do it. I maybe want to actually do it 5 out of 10 times. But I do
maybe
it.
less. Yeah.
But I do it. I just do it. I know what it's like to not want to do it. I get it. Shut up. I just start talking to myself. I go, come on, pussy. What are you talking about?
Do it.
If I was you, outside of you, knowing what I know, if I could read my mind, I'd be like, come on. You're just being lazy. Put your fucking shoes on. Yeah. Get a sweat going, and then you're going to feel pumped. Come on, man. You've done this a million times. And then invariably, I'll be in the middle of the workout. I'm sweating. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
And then I get into it.
When you're facing those rejections day in and day out, don't say, I had a bad day today. Say, I had a character building day. What did you learn? What did you get out of that day?
You can't spend your time worrying about the failures, worrying about the mistakes. If you sit there worrying about the mistakes all day, you take away time, you take away energy from doing what you're supposed to do. You're not going where you're supposed to be going. And what you got to do is learn to play through the haters. Play through it as if it doesn't exist.
beyond that which you've already mastered, you will never grow. So you've got to put something out here that you can't reach easily, that has got to make you stretch, got to make you jump for it, got to make you get back a little bit and dig in so that you can take a leap for it. And maybe you jump up there and you miss it and you skin your knees and you come back again and you bust your lip next time. But you keep on, and through that process, you learn how to leap higher. You start challenging yourself.
Even if you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, even if you have no evidence to support that position, even if no one else believes that you can do it, even if the odds are stacked against you, even if your chances of survival are slim to none, say to yourself, no matter how bad it is or how bad it gets, I'm going to make it.
There are moments when the weight of the trials we go through, it feels unbearable. Pain can linger, and oftentimes we wonder whether we're ever going to feel whole again.
If it's not working, it doesn't mean that it doesn't work. All it means is that your approach isn't working. And so now you've got to become more creative. Now you've got to go back to the drawing board. Now you need some more coaching. Now you need some more direction of what you need to do to take some corrective action to get you on the path. How do you know it can happen? You know because others have done it, so it's possible that you can do it. And what is necessary is that you work the system, that you take the coaching, take the directions, look at the people that are doing it, that are successful, and emulate them, and it'll work.
Man, how do you do what you do? At the end of the day, I ask myself one question: can I take one more step? And usually the answer is yes. So if you can answer that question and not take another step, that is real failure. That is real quitting. So a lot of people can take one more step, but they choose not to. I don't know if you can take 2 steps. You got to answer that question after you take the first step. But I can always take one more step, so if I choose not to, that's on me. And I got to live with that.
The problems in your life are your own dang fault. And so the answer into fixing the problems in your life are in your own dang hands. The responsibility for the well-being of your family, your wife, your husband, your children, are yours. Are yours.
You know, some of y'all are motivated by broke. I'm broke, I'm stuck, I'm f***ed up, I can't do nothing. Some of y'all are motivated by just wanting to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish. Other folks are motivated by materialistic things. It's a very simple concept. If you want it, you gotta go get it.
And I'm telling you from the bottom of my soul, it is so easy to beat people today. They are so soft. They have no work ethic. No one can stick with anything. Everyone's distracted. They're on social media. They're counting their notifications because they can't stick with They can't say no.
Every single morning, if you can't get out of your beds and you choose not to win, you listen to your feelings. If you chose to get out of bed and you said, there's a win for me, that's your mind.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody that didn't change those they once.
You have got to change the way you think. It is the whole determining factor of where you go in life. We are all where we are today because we thought ourselves to this position. If you don't like the position, think yourself out of it. Change your attitude, you change your altitude. No matter what your hardships, no matter where you came from, no matter what your parents did, no matter what your fucking teachers told you, you can learn to expect winning. You gotta make up in your mind before you get to that exam and pass that exam. You gotta look at it before you even get to it.
So you gotta be positive, you gotta be excited, you gotta be confident, you gotta be tough. You can be positive or you can be negative. You can be happy or you can be sad. You can be a winner or you can be a loser. Well, folks, I made up my mind. As long as there's a breath left in me, ain't nobody or nothing gonna make me quit. Ain't nobody gonna make me give up. Ain't nobody gonna make me negative. Dadgummit, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna be happy, and I'm gonna be positive.
So what your mama told you can't do it. So what your daddy told you can't do it. So what your teacher told you don't have what it takes. You don't walk in their reality. You don't live in their reality. Learn to live in your own reality. You walk with a certain confidence when you know you expect to get on A. You expect to be rich. You expect to be healthy. I don't care what the doctor says. You expect it, and when you expect it, that's what happens.
The person that shows up, the person that grinds from the bottom and hits their rock bottom and still goes on. The person that's in the car wiping tears off their face and it's still accomplishing the mission. Because I'm telling you right now, you might not feel it now, you might not see it now, but it's gonna pay off in your life.
Failure is not falling down. Failure is staying down. I fail over and over and over again in my life. And that's why I succeeded. You get to make a choice. Is failure going to break you, or is failure going to make you?
What do you do? You don't know what to do. And the things you should do, you don't do. And the things you shouldn't do, you do. It just seems like that my life is in shambles. It's a disaster. Nothing's working.
It's my journey. Nobody decides how I live. Nobody decides my life. I'm not a victim. I'm a victor. It's my journey. This is your journey. You're not a victim. It can end the way you want it to end, but you gotta grind like you want it. And you can grind your way through it, or you can cry your way through it.
What do you do when you have no external motivation? It's about the internal. What do you say to yourself? How are you going to fire yourself up? What's that flame inside of you that keeps you going?
There are times you're going to want to give up. There are times you feel deserted. People are lied to you and you're going to run out of resources. That's a part of it. But that's how you grow. That's how you learn from life. So whatever you're experiencing right now, it has not come to stay. It has come to pass.
Well, you should be afraid of taking risks and pursuing something meaningful. But you should be more afraid of staying where you are if it's making you miserable. It's like the first thing you want to do is dispense with the idea that you get to have any permanent security outside of your ability to contend and adapt. It's the same issue with children. It's like you're paying a price by sitting there being miserable. You might say, well, the devil I know is better than the one I don't. It's like, don't be so sure of that. The clock is ticking. Yeah, and if you're miserable in your job now and you change nothing, in 5 years you'll be much more miserable and you'll be a lot older.
Following your dreams is a lonely, solitary, scary, dangerous pursuit. You can't wait for somebody to think you can do it. Mm-hmm. And it's like because they don't think you can do nothing they can't do.
Exactly, bingo.
Right? You know what I mean? It's like it's a lonely, scary, dangerous pursuit, and you got to be willing to risk everything to become that seed of what you believe is in there. You got to be fearless. You got to be relentless.
Compelling as a thing to latch onto in harder times.
A lot of things are going to happen that will catch you off guard. You're going to make a lot of mistakes. You're going to have a lot of failures. You're going to have a lot of struggles. You're going to feel dumb and ask questions and don't know what to do or where to go. And that's part of growing. That's part of the experimentation process.
Because when the tough times come, and they're going to come. When life hits you on the blind side, and that's going to happen, or someone you thought you'd be married to for the rest of your life, and they decide they want a divorce, called life.
It's the panic of the pain that breaks most of us. You weren't expecting it and it threw you off, and that's what broke you.
When you're going through hell, what do? You don't stop there. You don't stay there. You want to spend the rest of your life there. You keep going. You put one foot in front of the other. If at first you don't succeed,
We mature with damage, not with the years. You gain wisdom from your wounds. You will grow through what you go through, but you must be willing to go through it.
Life will tempt you to become bitter. Age will make you bitter. Because during age, you collect enough experiences to become cynical till after a while, you don't expect anything good to happen because you've been through so many bad things that if anybody comes knocking at your door, you're predisposed to think it's something evil. You have to be careful lest you become bitter. Either your troubles make you better or they make you bitter.
It's not easy living your dream. It's not easy reinventing yourself. It's not easy sticking to and focusing on your goal. It's not easy being happy in the midst of a great deal of negativity. It's not easy to remove people from your life that are no longer good for you. And when you experience defeat and failure again and again and again, it's not easy to pull yourself back up and start all over again. It takes a great deal of courage to face yourself and say, no, my life is not what I want it to be, and I can change. That's not easy.
It takes guts. You got to dig down deep to gut it out. Keep on going again and again and again. You've got to believe in yourself. You've got to believe in your abilities, your ideas, unquestionably. No, it's hard. Yes, it's hard. It's difficult. And it's worth it. It doesn't matter what it costs. I'm not going to rest until I have it. I'm going to do it.
I don't care if you don't have the money, you don't have the help, and you don't have the family for it, and you don't have the background for it, and you don't have the friends for it. Don't you give up on your dream. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. It may take you twice as long. You may have to take courses and classes. You might not read as fast. You might not move as quick. You might not have as much, but don't you quit.
It takes courage to be exceptional. It takes courage to be wise. It takes courage to be educated. It takes courage to be knowledgeable. Because the moment you do, but you don't talk like you forgot where you came from. Look at you, talk to it takes courage.
Like, you've got to do things that you don't want to do because you show your body that your mind is the boss. Your mind is telling your body what to do, and then you have control.
So many of us come from these small places in our mind that we're not willing to think outside of only what we've seen. Our mind works in such a small compartment. And one thing I was able to do was to dream. Many people, but don't make dreams your master. But I was able to dream outside those four walls of that small town. And until you're able to really put yourself into that dream, but don't make dreams your master, that's where you truly become what you're destined to become.
That you're never going to completely solve anything in your life or in the world, and there's always going to be compromises that you have to make. And if you aren't willing to make those compromises, or you don't keep your mind open for those compromises, you're going to run into some real problems. But if you look at it and the fact that
and every day just looks the same and feels the same, now I get the feeling like this is endless. Now I get the feeling like maybe these chains are never going to break. This storm is never going to cease.
Life happens to everybody, but winners approach it like victors and losers like victims. You're not a victim? Stop talking about I can't, I quit, I don't think I can make it happen, it's impossible. Stop talking like that. Stop cursing and start believing.
I don't care who you are. I don't care how many defeats that you've suffered. What if you don't get there? If I don't get there, I have enjoyed the journey. It's okay. But you got to make up your mind that whatever it takes, I'm going to do it, that you deserve it, that you want it, and won't do without it.
The only thing stands from you doing what you know you've been called to do. The only thing is you. Nobody can stop you. You're the only person that can stop you. So stop talking like a victim. Stop thinking like a victim. Stop acting like a victim. And walk into your destiny. Walk into it. You sitting there hoping things gonna get better. You gotta work. This don't happen on its own. It's brick by brick by brick. Where do I start? I don't know. Pick a spot and go get it. You can start the process right now of turning it all around by getting up.
Sometimes it takes losing your everything just to show you there was nothing that you ever needed in the first place. Sometimes it takes losing everything that you think you need just to show you that there's something better for your life. Your greatest setbacks will set you up for that major comeback. Sometimes you have to lose certain things to gain better things. Sometimes the best way to add to your life is to subtract from it.
You want to give up? You want to fall down? You want to turn around and run with everybody else? You're going to question yourself. You're going to say, is this really making much sense?
All of that will create you into a certain kind of person. Experience the rejection. Experience the hard times. That's how you grow. That's how you develop yourself. That's how you begin to appreciate what you get. When you're working on a dream, at some point in time, a transition takes place. And the transition is what you are becoming in pursuit of the dream. Because even if you don't get the dream, You become such a strong and powerful person because you've now developed yourself in such confidence and such competence in how to deal in the arena of life that you can move into another area and not miss a beat. Once you begin to discover who you are, then you really realize how you have been given authority and dominion over everything on the face of the earth. But you can only do that through the struggle of life.
And say, okay, now I'm looking back on my life. I want to have minimized the number of regrets I have. And you know, I knew that when I was 80, I was not going to regret having tried this. I was not going to regret having wanted, trying to participate in this thing called the internet that I thought was going to be a really big deal. I knew that if I failed, I wouldn't regret that. But I knew the one thing I might regret is not ever having tried. And I knew that that would haunt me every day. And so when I thought about it that way, it was an incredibly easy decision.
If you believe it, if you really believe that you could be something, if you have that little voice in your head saying, hey, you got talent, you could do this, then follow that voice.
The thing is, man, it's always going to be a party. There's always going to be a time to celebrate and a time to join friends or a day to, the bars are always open. Always open. No matter how old you are, they're always open, What's not always open is the opportunity to check the box in life, to achieve your dreams. That's not always open, man.
So if you wake up in the morning and you don't want to do something, you don't care enough about yourself. And that's what you need to really research is, man, why am I not doing this for myself? Because that is the number one purpose in life, is to better oneself. So that's the only purpose I need. So the reason I get up every day, even though there's no race or there's no school or there's nothing in front of me, is because I have pride in myself.
If there was a big meta indicator that you're doing the right thing, doing what everyone isn't doing is already probably the single biggest indicator that you're doing the right thing. Like if I could wish nothing else on my child whenever I choose to have them in the future, is that they have high agency, which is that they make decisions independent from the opinions of other people. And when we hear words like authentic and original and things like that, it's because the person starts at square one and says, well, what do I want? And then they start building from there.
The fact that something seems impossible shouldn't be a reason to not pursue it. That's exactly what makes it worth pursuing. Where would the courage and greatness be if success was certain and there was no risk? The only true failure is shrinking away from life's challenge.
How it's so hard to see the good if you're only seeing the bad. Like, there's so many people that struggle with what their version of success is because they're looking at someone else's. There's so many people that struggle with their world of relationship because they're judging theirs based off of someone else's, right? And when you're constantly in the space of not realizing or noticing your world, your reality, because you're living in what appears to be someone else's, well, your shit's never gonna be right. It's never gonna be right.
I want you to hold on. It may not happen in the time that you think is going to happen, but I want you to know something. If you quit, it's never gonna happen. If you quit, if you give up, if you stop, if you do not persevere, you will never see it. I didn't get here through academics. I got here because I refused to quit. What, you gonna go through all this pain and quit? You gonna go through all this suffering and stop? You've come too far to quit now. You should keep going. You should keep going. You're already in enough pain. Get a reward for it. Where you are is temporary.
I know that it's not going to be easy. It's going to be extremely challenging. And I know I got what it takes to do this.
And yes, it's going to be hard, it's going to be difficult, and you get more no's than you do yes. But when you hold out, things will begin to happen. You won't even understand how.
When you don't give up, when you don't let it break you.
What do you do when you feel like giving up? When you feel like, I don't have the energy to go one more step. I'm just gonna chuck it. I'm gonna give up on my marriage. I'm gonna give up on my job. I'm gonna give up on my dream. I'm gonna give up on my health. It's over. I'm done. Finished.
What do you do when you don't know what to do?
If you're gonna do it, do it. Say what you can do what you say.
You can't do it, don't say you can do it. Don't over-leverage yourself. Don't over-leverage your decision and then jump in and kind of dip a toe. I think I'll try it out. No, think if you're going to try it out beforehand, but when it's time to go, dive. Finish it, find out. Come out the other side. Don't leave it and go, ooh, if I just would, That keeps me up at night. I think it keeps a lot of us up at night. When you half-ass something, you just don't know. Whether you failed or succeeded, got what you want or didn't get what you want, finding out and looking in the mirror and going, I didn't half-ass it. I went all the way. I found out, and that ain't for me. Or I found out, and you damn right that is for me. That's a great place to get to. But the limbo of not knowing, if you half-ass something, the limbo of going, I hedged my bet.
What could have happened?
You don't know.
You know, I really don't have regrets. I am the person that says, you know, as soon as you look back in your history and you come up with something that you feel like you want to change, something else has to change. You know, so.
What about your biggest disappointment?
Once again, that's the same analogy. You know, disappointment to me, to win, you got to lose. To be successful, you got to have something that's not successful. To be happy, you got to have disappointment. So I think all of those things have evolved and happened to make me who I am.
And my 3 questions are, what do you want? How badly do you want it? And how much are you willing to suffer? And very often, everything revolves around the first question, what do you want? Because a lot of people are unclear what they want from life. They don't sit down and think through. We are writing our own life story every day, and yet we don't think about it. Who do we want to be? Where do we want to live? What life do we want to lead? When we've finished our life, come to the end of our life and look back, what do we want to say that we've done? So, what do you want is a very powerful question. And then, if an athlete says, I want to be the best, Bill, fine. How badly do you want it? Because you've got to pay a price to be the best. The best pay a big price. You've got to work harder, you've got to commit more, you've got to take more responsibility, you've got to deal with more ups and downs.
You're not powerless, you are powerful. Sometimes you have to take 2 or 3 steps back just to go forward again. Sometimes you might have to get a part-time job just to keep things going until you get back on track again. It's okay. It's happened to the best of us. It's all right. It won't break you. It only introduces you to yourself. But during those times, there was something in me that said, don't stop. Don't give up. Just keep on keeping on. I had somebody in my life at one time told me, you'll never make it. They laugh. They're going to laugh at you. People are going to laugh at you.
People will count you out. You're like, that guy's not going to be anything. Yeah, he's not going to be nothing.
I gotta believe in me before anybody else believe in me.
So when you're uncommon, get ready for the criticism. When you're uncommon, get ready for the opposition. When you're uncommon, get ready for the common people not to understand you. There's no guarantee that because somebody is now down on their luck, they can never come back. Who can guarantee that you can't make, that you can't have your dream? Who can guarantee that you can't do what you want to do? No one can predict that. You don't know what the possibilities are for your life. You know the human spirit is powerful. There's nothing as powerful. It's hard to kill the human spirit. Give yourself a chance. Give yourself a fighting chance. Whatever you go after, whatever you said, this is your stuff. Pursue it passionately. Let there be a deep hunger in you that you won't be denied. And that when things happen, that they won't immobilize you. They won't deplete your energy. That you look at it and you observe it. But you know there's something in you that's going to take you to the top. And that this is only a temporary inconvenience. That's all it is. Nothing more can stop you. Something as powerful as you cannot be contained.
You know, sometimes all you need is 20 seconds of insane courage. Just literally 20 seconds of just embarrassing bravery. And I promise you, something great will come of it.
It was life and death. Either you live or you die. Which one do you want, Tom? That was the decision. In the corporate life and in the gym.
And I'm built different.
When things are the worst,
You're normal.
you direct the power in your life. Whatever your life is right now, it is a duplication of your consciousness. It's a result of how you have decided to use your power. That's all it is. That's not who you are. That's just a perverted use of your power that you aren't satisfied with. And you've got the power to change that. Wherever you are. How? I don't know. But I know you've got the power to do that. But you don't know what has happened to me. It really doesn't matter what has happened to you. The only thing that really matters is what are you going to do about it? You can allow it to destroy you, or you can allow it to build you up.
This is why most people never get anywhere. Most people are incapable of picking a direction and just going. They observe the possibilities. They get paralyzed by all the possibilities. They refuse to move forward on all the possibilities, and then time passes them by. So it's very important that you make a decision and you go down that path. You commit to that path with the mentality of having zero options. But I still tell myself that, and that's how I operate. So you have to pick something, and then you have to commit to it for as long as that's going to take to make sure that you see it through.
Whatever happens to you, turn it to your advantage. So I have now made that a blessing for me as opposed to a handicap. I went and proved them wrong by engaging in self-study and consciously working to develop myself. I started going to work earlier. I started being the last one to leave there. I started working harder than anybody else. So now they have to ask themselves, what were we thinking about when we labeled this guy? Doesn't matter how many failures I've made. Doesn't matter how many mistakes I've endured. Doesn't matter about my defeats. Doesn't matter about what I've done. I don't care about the fact I'm in a hole now. Doesn't matter about where I am. The last chapter to my life has not been written yet. If you judge me now, you'll judge me prematurely. I haven't exposed all my stuff yet.
You better be fucking pissed when people doubt you. You better learn how to take that pissed off energy and put it into productive action. Every fucking negative comment should trigger you into productive action. Every time somebody says something to you, you should go do whatever it is that is going to make them have to eat their words. Right then, right now.
That's what crazy means. And if you're not fucking crazy, you're never going to succeed at anything in life. Everybody has got to be a little bit off. Anybody that's done something great, they don't think like anybody else. They can't. And the people that tell you you can't do it, you know what your response to them is? Watch. That's all you have to say. Watch me.
You gotta go through pain. It's not going to be easy, but I want you to feel that pain going through your body. And as pain leaves your body, guess what's gonna take its place? Success.
If you aren't dead, then it's just psychological. It's in your head. As long as you don't surrender, as long as you don't give up, as long as you don't quit, then you haven't failed. It just means you've made a temporary tactical retreat. It means you've made a brief withdrawal so that you can regroup and reattack. As far as I'm concerned, if you get beat, unless you're dead, you are not defeated. And you have not failed. What you've done is you've learned. You've gained experience.
Look at all those people down there. They follow the rules for what? They're letting fear lead them.
It's never gonna make you feel good if you're leaving it on the table. If you're not exercising your potential, if you don't have a purpose, you don't have a mission. The reason you feel like is because you know that you're letting your potential die on the vine. You're letting your potential go to waste. And that is an underlying condition that's causing you this anxiety, causing you this stress, causing you this uncomfortable place. But the reality is you need to solve the underlying problem. And the underlying problem is you're not exercising your potential. And for that reason, you feel like that's it.
Because I have a vision, I have my confidence, and I believe in myself. People call it arrogant, I call it confidence. Ignorant people call it arrogant. Intelligent people call it...
I can't. You can't? Are you
You kidding me? You just said I can't? Like, I want to slap that. You know what I'm saying? I can't. I don't have time for people that are weak and they say I can't. No, you can. You will.
Because I know where I came from and I don't ever want to go back.
I don't care how good you are in anything. You don't have discipline. You ain't nobody.
Right. This is a reminder of the hard work and dedication that I put into everything that I've done. I'm not content.
You're nothing without discipline because you give up under the slightest struggle without discipline. 100%. Discipline is doing what you hate to do, but do it like you love it.
Hold on just a minute, man. He can't do that. He can't be successful. Remember all this crap that he was covered in? Hold on, look at the mistakes this guy's made. Look, they try to reel you back into that, man. That's what people want to do. What do they call it? Crabs in a bucket, right? They want to pull you back down into that crap that you came out of. It freaking pisses them off, dude. Most people make these big mistakes in life and they hide in the corner, man. And nobody remembers you. I don't care what you did freaking 10 years ago, man. I don't care what you did yesterday. You just gotta keep going. That's it. That's how you put yourself in these environments to become who you want to be.
I'm still in the process of transforming my life. I'm still in the process of becoming.
What happens if I don't?
Life's simple. You make choices and you don't look back.
You have to jump. There is no way around it. You have to jump.
I don't care if it's impossible. I don't care how hard it is. I don't care how difficult it is. I will my way through it. All I want you to focus on is the impossible, and one day you will laugh at the impossible. You will look at the impossible and go, how was that ever impossible? You will look at the impossible and go, what was I thinking? You close. You about to drop out. You gone too far now. You ain't got but 2 credits. Hold on. You can't quit now. Hold on. But this is my 6th time taking it. You gonna pass on the 7th. Hold on. But you better get something from all that hell you've been through. I'm talking to somebody. You ought to get excited. You're 100 yards away. You're 100 yards away. You can see it in the distance. You close, boo. Don't give up now. You close, my brother. Hold on.
Nobody succeeds at first. Successful people simply see failure as a temporary setback. There is no comeback without first a setback.
What if everything that you have been through can serve a greater purpose? What if a generational curse was being broken through your battle?
But you gotta work through it. I use the pain to push me to greatness. And I'm telling you right now, don't give up. I'm telling you right now, don't give in. Get through it. Just don't let it break you. If you get past it, on the other side of it, it's going to be phenomenal. At the end of pain is your millions. At the end of pain is your promise. So stop crying about it and use your energy to get through it.
Anything I'm afraid of, I confront it. And that's my personality. Like right now, I'm scared to death. But as the fight gets closer, the less nervous I become because it's reality. And in reality, I'm invincible.
What the hell are we going to do without men? You look around the city here, you see all these buildings go up. These men, they're doing impossible things. They're under the streets, working on the sewers. They're up on the power lines in the storms and the rain. They're keeping this impossible infrastructure functioning, this thing that works in a miraculous manner. They work themselves to death, and often literally.
At 6 months, you're also not going to have hit it big yet. And they're going to be like, I'm still right. And at a year, you're still not going to have hit it big. And they'll still be right. And every day that you haven't hit it, they're going to feel like they were right. But they're wrong, because they're measuring in days and you're measuring in decades.
There's no losing, only learning. There's no failure, only opportunities. And there's no problems, only solutions.
Most of the time we knew the start and end point. So on the way back, I started seeing people getting happy and because the end was near. But there were some asshole instructors that would hear the happiness and go right on past the end point. When that happened, everybody stopped talking. Heads stopped dropping. And I started taking oh. At that time, I knew what happened in their minds. They were living off the hope factor.
and start moving forward.
The dumb that I've done or the bad mistakes that I've made, they've taught me. You know, you learn. Like, that's why failure is so important. Like, failing and fucking up and making mistakes, it's very important. That's how you learn. That's how the bad feeling that you get from something that you shouldn't have done or wish you didn't do or wish you did better. Like, especially failing at something where you half-assed it and you just feel like a fucking loser. Like, that just teaches you. It teaches you to get your shit together.
And a lot of people think what they acquire is the thing that makes them who they are. No, it's who you become in the process of chasing what you want to acquire, right? Change expectation for appreciation. Extract the lessons and the blessings from the situations that didn't turn out the way you wanted them to turn out. But most importantly, man, approach it and eliminate the outcome, right? Just go for it, work, go to work.
If you ever go through something, hold your head up. If you ever make a mistake, hold your head up. If you ever do something and everything goes wrong, like catch you on the blind side, hold your head up.
And sometimes you think you know how it ends, but what if it's not over yet? What if it's not over yet? What if your best days are not behind you?
In order to stay down there on a low level, but it calls on everything in you, you have to harness your will to say, I'm going to challenge myself. Sometimes I have to pull myself out of bed and say, come on, Les. You've got to learn to stand up to yourself inside yourself and short circuit, override that conversation that's always going on. 85% of what that conversation will tell you is negative. It's negative. It will tell you you're tired when you really are not tired. It will tell you you can't do it. It will fill you with fear. So you've got to watch that conversation. And when you find it going on, you've got to stand up to it and say, I'm going to do this anyhow. I'm afraid, but I'm afraid not to do it. And I'm not going to let you stop me. Just hold on to that dream when it doesn't make sense to anybody, including you sometimes. Just hold on.
It's when all hell breaks loose. That's when you get to see what you got.
When your very best deal falls apart and your rent is late and you're tired and you're sick and everybody is mad at you and your car doesn't work, then it's the person that picks himself up and says, nothing is going to stop me. Develop the quality of being unstoppable. Say in yourself that no matter what life throws at me, it'll never stop me. You can be tired, you can be worn out, but no matter how rough it gets, nothing will stop you.
You know what crazy means? Crazy means that you have the ability to see things that other people can't.